Good evening to you all. Today is our day 2 of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp 2.0. And yesterday, if you can recall, is the beginning of this bootcamp, and we'll always start with the outlines. That is what we are to cover for the day. So today, as our day 2, these are our outlines. That is what we are to cover for the day. So we'll have a recap on what we did yesterday. That is on day 1. We'll have a recap on day 1. Then we'll talk about cell and cell designation. Then we'll talk about cursor in Excel, table and table border, grid lines, width and height. These are the 6 items that we are going to discuss about today. If you can recall, yesterday we did the introduction of introduction of Excel or introduction of data analytics in brief. We did talk about some kind of items that you need to know about. That is explanation of some terms. So I discussed about some terms that has to do with data science, data analytics, data analysis, data analyst, and data scientist. That's what we discussed yesterday. If you can recall, we talked about that. And we also discussed about why choosing data analytics. We talk about some things today and the different types of data analytics tools. We discuss about them. I've told you there are different types of them. There are many tools out there you can use to arrive at the same destination. And I also discuss about why do we choose Microsoft Excel to be the one that we are going to treat throughout this bootcamp. And we also discussed about yesterday, if you can recall, we discussed about what to expect at the end of this bootcamp. I told you are to expect that at the end of the bootcamp, you will learn data entering or like data collection using different tools and also data cleaning, analysis, visualization, reporting, sharing. These are the things that you'll expect at the end of this bootcamp. When we round it up, that's what you are going to learn at the end of it. And also, we talk about introduction to Excel. We open Excel interface, if you can recall yesterday, and I discussed about workbook and worksheet. That's where we stopped yesterday. So this is just a recap and highlights on what we did yesterday. And I want you to have it in your mind that, yeah, this is what we did and what we covered yesterday. And because we are not going to repeat it again. And whatever we discussed, like I told you yesterday, is going to be part and parcel of your individual assignment at the end of the week. So don't miss anything. Anything that you did not understand, don't miss it. If you have a question, just drop it in the chats, then I will talk about it. But if it's something that we covered it in the video, then I highly recommend you to watch the video so that you learn more and more and more there. When you watch the video, you put it in even slow motion if you want. So today we will discuss about cell and cell designation. We'll discuss about cursor. We'll discuss about table and table border, grid lines, width, and height. So I'm going to open my Excel so that we'll start, because I told you everything is practical. So I'll open my Excel, then we'll start the uh, treating all these items one after the other. So let me just open my screen. Okay, so I believe you can all see my screen. Please, if you can, just say yes. Let me see it in the chat so that we can continue. If you can see, please just let me know if you can see my Excel interface. Yes, okay, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Okay, so you see what we are going to cover today. First of all, we are going to discuss about cell and cell designation. You need to understand this because all these that we are treating right from yesterday, we started with the introduction. Everything counts. Everything counts. Don't think something is kind of not important. Everything is important. Please understand this as we are going up, because the thing is getting tedious as we are moving forward. So don't miss anything. So when we say cell, we're talking about these rectangular boxes that you are seeing. in Excel. That's what we call cell. I believe all of you are seeing this kind of this. If I click on it, I believe you are seeing one blue rectangular box, right? You are all seeing it. So that's what we call a cell in Excel. So Excel sheet, as you can see, you already know what worksheet or what sheet is all about, is full of these cells. You see, each cell that you are seeing is just a, on its own is a cell, and that particular cell is something alone. It is something on its own. So that what cell is all about in Excel. And secondly, each cell that you are seeing has a name. So as you are seeing all these rectangular boxes, each one of them has a name. None of them has the same name. They have different names. So these are cells that you are seeing have different names. And that what bring us when we are to talk about these cells names, or what we say cell designation, then we must talk about rows and columns. That's something that we must talk about when we want to get to know what is cells designation in Excel. You see, when we say columns, we're talking about the vertical rows, or let's say the rows of each. You see this, the horizontal rows of this. You see, all these A, B, C, D, as you are seeing, are columns. So A is a column on its own, B is a column, E is a column, F is a column. So when we say column, we are talking about that lines by line. That's what we said when we say columns. So when we say rows, we are talking about the horizontal rows. That is what it goes like this. We have row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. So Excel is full of this, is kind of surrounded by these two things. That is the column and rows, and the columns are the A, B, C, D, while the rows are the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should take note on that. Yesterday I told you, or let me just tell you today, even if you missed it yesterday, in Excel there are about 16,384 columns in Excel. 16,384 columns in Excel, while rows in I'm talking about single sheet. Yesterday we discussed about sheet. We can create sheet, a lot of sheets. So in one sheet, as you can see, we have, if I hold control forward, it will take me to the end of the columns. So these columns are 16,384, like I just said, while the rows are 1,048,576 rows. Each sheet, that's what it has. Each sheet, 1,048,576 rows. Each and every sheet of Excel has that. So if you can recall, yesterday I've told you one workbook of Excel can take at least about 250 something sheets in one workbook. So you see, if each sheet can take 1 million, that's why I told you it can contain the entire data of Nigerians. That's why you see each and every state payroll is in only one sheet, because it's not up to 40,000. No, I don't think maybe Lagos or Kano has like about 40 something thousand civil servants, but other states like it's 20, 15, 18, 19, 22, 24, like that. So Excel can take more than that. So that the one of the powerful thing about Excel, if you kind of reason with all of this. So when we said cell designation, we want to know the name of the cell. Now we know what cells are. You see, when I click here, it's a cell. I click here, anywhere I click is a cell. So when we want to know the cell designation is the intersection of column and row. The intersection of column and row is what will give us a what? Is what will give us a cell designation, the intersection of column and row. So you already know what is column. Column is the ABC, that is the top one, while row is the, kind of the left one of 1, 2, 3, that's the row. So now if I just click on this, let me just click here. If I ask you what is the cell name of this, that is designation of this particular cell that I just click on it, you will say what? You are going to have the intersection of column, that is intersection of this, you see, the D, and what? Row. The row is what? 5. Then you call it D5. That's what you call it. So the name of this particular one is D5. If I click here, for example, it will say J5. Or maybe I will click here, it will be H10. You see, you need to look at the, the column and the row. That one will give you the name of this particular cell. That is the cell designation, is something you need to know, is something you need to understand. So if I put something, a letter here or number here, I put number here. If I want to match them together or calculate them, I can come here and say, okay, equals to, for example, D5 plus F1. Then if I put here, to give me whatever is in D5 and whatever is in F5, it will put them together and give me the result. So this is what, for you to know this cell designation, by mere looking at whatever is there, you can tell that, yeah, this is the name of this particular cell. And I've told you already, each cell in Excel has its own name. So each cell, no single cell has the same name with the other. They have different names, and this is how to get, or how to know the names of the name of each particular cell. So we are done with cell designation. Let's move on. The next thing we are going to talk about cursor in Excel. Cursor in Excel. When we say cursor, we're talking about this mouse. You see what is just kind of moving. I'm just shaking my mouse here. It's not mouse, but it's cursor. That's the name of it. It's just cursor. You see, it's just kind of going round on the screen. So in Excel, there are different types of this cursor in Excel, which you need to know and learn how to use them in Excel. Number one, we have highlighting. Highlighting. Our cursor will do something that will tell you or will show you that if you hold, and take note, all these that I'm going to talk about related to this cursor, all these 5 or 6 things I'm going to talk about related to this cursor, has to do with holding left click, not right click, left click. To hold left click, that's to click. When you hold it and you drag, it has to do with that. So let's start with number one. I say highlighted. When your cursor turn to this white in Excel, you see how it's turned to, it's white now. It's plus, but it's white inside it. So this white plus, what it shows you in Excel, without clicking anything, if you hover over any cell, when you hold left click, you didn't click, you just hold it. It's like you are highlighting. You see, now I'm highlighting the cells. You see, this is highlighting. So I'm highlighting, you see, I can just drag it anywhere I want it to be. I can just drag it. So that's what highlighting is. But you can only highlight. You can only highlight when the cell is white. Look at the way it looks like. It's white. So when you hold, now I highlight. You see, I want to highlight C to like it, like all these two. Then I will hold it. You see, I just drag it down, or I drag it like this towards the right hand side. So this is what this number one cursor effect is in Excel. Number one is highlighting. Number two is dragging. Number two is dragging. Please learn all this because it's very essential. We are going to work with them a lot as we move on. Please learn them, understand them. Watch the video, rewatch it, and practice them with your own laptop, please. So number two is dragging. You see, dragging is when you hover at the end of the cell. You see, now I click on C1. You see, I'm in C1. I click on it. You see, at the end of it, you see how my cursor turned to. Now, I believe you can see it. It turned to plus, but now black plus. It's not like white like this. It's just black plus. There is no white in it. Unlike, you see, unlike this white that has to do with highlighting. Now we are talking about dragging. So you see, when it's turned to this, you come at the edge of this. If you hold left click, if you drag, it will duplicate whatever is inside that particular cell. It will duplicate it. That's what dragging is all about. I can drag it horizontal, and I can also drag it vertical. So I can go like this, and I can, you see, I did it like this, I can do it like this. Let me just show you something. Let me just write 10. If I write 10, for example, now I write 10. Now, if I drag it down, it will just duplicate 10, 10, 10, 10 for me like this. If I drag it horizontal, it will create 10, 10, 10, 10 for me like this. So don't get confused. This is how it is in Excel, and this is the how dragging works in Excel. If I want to duplicate this, I can just drag them again. You see, I'm duplicate by just within some seconds. I create all this. You see, I have over 162 columns now filled with 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, as you can see now. And I can create more. If I did it like this, I create more. If I want to create more, now I have more than 200 and I can just drag it, drag it. You see, I just filled about 3,396 cells just with 10, 10, 10, 10 within some seconds. So this is one of the powerful things about Excel. You see, you can do a lot of things within some seconds. If I just drag it, you see, it's about 283 rows I just complete. And how many columns? I complete more than from C to N. So it's big. I just did it within some seconds. So don't worry about that. If I want to delete them, all I need is to highlight. Then I can highlight them all. Highlight, highlight. Just drag it down the way you did it. Just drag, drag, come down. You see, all you need to is don't if you want to delete, don't click backspace. Click delete from your keyboard. Find where delete is and click on it. You see, if you click delete, it will go, but if you click backspace, it will not go. It will stay where nothing will just you can't delete them all with backspace. So this is the dragging. So please take note on dragging. Dragging, you must click on the cell. Then you come at the edge when your cursor turn to this black red plus, you drag it. You see, you can go horizontal, you can go vertical, you can also come horizontal again. You can go vertical again, come horizontal again, go the way you want it. Then that's what dragging is all about. So that's second thing. The next thing is moving. If you want to move something, that is Excel cursor can help you to move. That is to move something from a particular cell to another cell. For example, now I wrote 10. So how do you know you need to move this thing? So when you click on the cell, please come here at the middle of the rectangular box like this. You see, your cursor turn into 3 arrows. 3 what arrows? Look at it, it's 3 arrows. Okay, let me zoom it again, please, so that you can see it more and more. You see, it turns to 3 arrows. You see, up, forward, and backward. You see, 3 arrows. So these 3 arrows that it's turned to, when you hold left click, then you are moving it. Now, if I drop it here, the 10 will come back to here. Now I move the 10. If I hold it also, I brought the 10 to A1. I can move it to H4. I can also hold it. You see, if I hold left click, I'm moving it. So that's what this arrow is all about. I can create, for example, now if I create this 10, let me just drag like 3, like this. So yeah, I want to move all these 10, all of them. I just highlight them. Okay, let me highlight them for you. See, I highlight them all. If I come at the edge of it, now my cursor is telling me now I'm going to move all of them. Now if I hold them, you see, I move them. If I want to bring them here, I bring them here. I can move them here. You see, I'm moving. So that's what moving is with your cursor. So now we are moving it. So that's something on that. So the next thing about from this, it has to do with the another 2 ways of this cursor. I think we are going to treat them. Not today, is going to be our tomorrow's. Okay, so we are going to treat them today because it has to do with what we are going to talk about, width and height. So I'm going to talk about width and height, then I will treat the 2 other cursor effects that we are going to discuss about. The first one, it has to do with width. So you can write it, you can say just width, because if you come at the top of this, you see, when we want to create the width, when we say width, we are talking about the width of something that is already, you know that. So now width is like this. Now you can only increase the width from the column. So we are increasing it from the column. I want to increase the width of C. Okay, when you come here, you see your cursor turn to 2 arrows now, not 3, 2 black arrows. If you come to the edge of C, you see at the edge of C. Now, if I hold left click, I drag it, you see, I increase the width. If I click it here, I bring it down, I decrease the width. If I want to increase the width of B, that is B, column B, I will come at the edge of it, hold it, and increase it. You see, I increase the width. If I decrease it, I can decrease it. I decrease it to this. So this is how another effect of Kuso, that is increasing of the width, because it shows two black arrows forward and backward, forward and backward. Please take note on that. So for the height, you can increase the height of the cell from the row. Not so you increase the width from the column, you increase the height from the what? From the row. So this is the row. You come to the, you see, row 1. I want to increase it from the row. So to show two black arrows also, but up and down now. Now, if I hold it, I increase the height. If I hold it back, I decrease the height. So please take note. If I want to increase the height of 4, I will do it like this. Then I will decrease it from here. I increase it from here. I decrease it from here. So this is how you do it. So this is what has to do with the width and what? And height. So, and also you see the effect, two effects of Kuso also here. You see here, and you also see here. So another thing that has to do with this Kuso also, apart from all these 6 that we just did, or 5, that has to do with highlighting all the entire column. For example, you see this arrow, down arrow. When you come at the middle of the column, you click on it, it selects the entire column. That is the entire rows of this particular column D. That is all the 1,048,576 rows that we have under here. It selected them all. Now, if you delete it, you delete everything related to this particular column. So, but that's what, if you want to highlight it all. And that's the next thing related to this Kuso is to select the entire column using this down arrow, that black down arrow. The next thing is to select the entire row, that is using black forward arrow. You see, it's just black forward arrow, like this, black forward arrow. You see, when you click on it, you select the entire row. You see, I select the entire row 3, row 5, row 6, like that. That's how I do it, and that's how I select them all. So this is it that has to do with Kuso, and I think you will watch the video to learn more and more about how Kuso works and how you're going to work with it. And also take note, unlike these 2 that I just mentioned that has to do with highlighting, you are not dragging. Just when you click, just click. This you are not holding left click. All you need to is to just click. That's the only 2 that has to do with clicking. But the rest has to do with holding left click, and you drag it with your Kuso. You see, you drag, or you just you highlight like this, or you drag like this, or you did the moving, or the rest that has to do with the width and height, like that. So that for the Kuso in Excel. The next thing we are going to talk about table, and we're going to talk about table border. So you see, what we are going to discuss, we are going to talk about table, but before that, let's talk about grid lines, because I think after this table and table border, we are going to call it a day. We are done. So these grid lines are the lines that you are seeing. You see, these lines that you are seeing, all these lines, that black lines that you are seeing, is just what we call grid lines. They have no effect, and they are not the table. And don't get confused on about this, and you get scared of this line. They are nothing as far as Excel is concerned. All these lines that you are seeing, as far as Excel is concerned, are of no use. So you can remove them. If you come to view, just come to view here over your menu bar. If you untick this grid line, you see it here, untick it, the entire lines will be gone. You see, this is how Excel is by default. This is how Excel is. Like Microsoft Word. You all know Microsoft Word. So Excel is like Microsoft Word by default. This grid line is just there to guide you. If you are to print all these files, if you are to print this 1010 that I just created, okay, let me do something. If you are to create this, let me do something. You see, if you are to create this, to print this, sorry, not create. Let me drag it down. If you are to print this, if I just click print, you are not going to see this grid line. It's just going to be 1010. You see, this is how it's going to be a plain sheet for you. Because all these grid lines you are seeing are of no use. This is how Excel is. It's just white sheet. like this. So you need to learn how to put table and border in Excel. And for the purpose of this training, I'm not showing you how to put table right now. Oh, let me just show you. But take note, if you are to use this Excel throughout this, please don't use table. Use the border table that I'm going to show you. Don't just use the table that we are going to use now. Please don't do that. Don't do that. So what you are going to do in order for you to put the table, let's just do that. You need to highlight where you want to put the table. So now let me just drag this and put it here. So let's just do it like this. Or let me create the table for you. So let me just put SN, serial number, full name, let's say states, qualification, and date of birth. So let me just do this. So now we're going to create a table and you're going to see how we are going to create it. Let's say I'm going to create this table for 10 people. So I'm going to highlight it like this. I'm going to highlight it. You see, I just highlight it like this. So what you are going to do is come here. You will see here. You see bottom border here. You see this line. Just click this down arrow. You see it here. Click it and click on all borders. Please learn this because throughout your individual assignment, you are going to be creating table every time. So learn this and understand this, and it has its own marks. So once you did this, you will get the mark, but learn how to do this. You see this? This is how you create this. So this is something you need to learn. So now if I did this, for example, just understand this. If I did this, now, if I did this, if I come here to print, you see, this is what we are going to see. Now we have table. So you see, grid line is of no use. Where we put this particular table, that's exactly where the table border will show for us. And the other grid line are of no use. That's why they will not show here. So please take note on this and learn how to do this. If you want to remove it, you can just highlight them all back again. Come here and just say no border. Then you just take out the grid, the table border that you just put. The second thing to put the table is just highlighted like this. You can come here under insert, or you can just click Control T because it's the shortcut of doing that. But now I think it's better. Just click here. When you click here, you click here. You see, you just click table. Sorry, you click insert. You see table here. Just click table. You see, if you have header, then you can tick my table has headers. You tick it. If you didn't tick it, it will create new headers for you. Let me show you. If I didn't tick this, my table has border, I create okay. It will create new header for me, column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4. So if my table already has its own border, sorry, I didn't highlight the date of birth. You see like this, then I will go back to insert, click table. Then I will say, yeah, my table has border headers. Click here and click OK. You just insert a table like this. This is how it's going to be. You create another table. So now if we want to print, we just click print. You see, we are going to have a table like this since we put the table. But I highly advise when I told you, please take this. When you are to put table, don't use this particular table for now. It's not for you for now. Don't use it. Use this one. Click here, all borders. Use this one and do whatever you want to do with it. You can increase the height, the width. You see like this when we just create this, I can do this. I can decrease this height. I can increase this width. I just show you how to do that. Just increase the width. You see, we just create a very awesome table like this. If you can see, you see, we just create this. Now, if I click this, this is how the table is going to look like. And we just create this in Excel just today. So this is what you need to know about, what you need to learn that has to do with this. So I think this is exactly where we are going to stop today. And let me just talk about again, let's just I'll talk about width and height again for you because yeah, let me just I show you how to do it manually. That is to do the width and height. Let me show you how to do it kind of automatic. Then you don't want to suffer yourself. For example, you want to increase the let me just show you. Now you want to increase the height. So you want to increase the entire height of this table. You can highlight it or just highlight it. Go back to come to this format. You see this format, click this format, then click row height. You see row height, you can just click on 25 or 20. Any number you can put 20, press enter. You see it increased, the height increased. If you want to increase the width, then you can go back to format, click this column width. You can put, for example, 15. Press enter, then the entire width will go wide the way you want you put it. Now, if I click here, let me just print preview it. You see, this is how the table will look like. If I want to increase the height again or the width, I can just come back. I can say, okay, I want it to be 20. For the height, I want it to be maybe 30, like this. Then I will just do it like this. You see, if you do it, this is how it's going to show and like that. So this is something that you need to practice. Please just practice this. As you practice, you will learn more and more and more. So that's all for today. If you have any question, please you can drop your question in the uh, chat, then I will answer your question for you. So this is where we are going to stop for today. Thank you so much. If you have a question, please you can ask. Go ahead and please watch the video, understand all what we did, and tomorrow we'll continue. Yeah, you can put the video kind of in slow motion. I don't want us to go out of the 40 minutes. Everything is scheduled. I don't want us to go beyond 40 minutes. That's why I have to go the way I'm going. Since we are recording the video is okay, put it slow motion, then listen to it the way it is. I know every phone, even on phone now, you can put it in slow motion, and I think you can learn from that, and you can just make your note and practice it as you are learning. I don't want us to go beyond 40 minutes. If I like we have a lot of things to do. If we said we are going to do it, the way a lot of people want, for us to cover this, it take us more than what we want. Yeah. So the things are kind of, and we are not repeating anything every day. We are moving forward. So please learn this so that tomorrow when we did it, you cannot get confused. And next tomorrow, please, please. Yeah. If you have a question, please, you can ask the question. If you don't, I think we can call it a day, but I don't know. If you have a question, you can ask. If you have a question, you can ask. Please, those from Bootcamp 1.0, please, you should left behind. Those from Bootcamp 1.0, those that are with us from Bootcamp 1.0, you can left behind. You can rejoin the link. We have something to, I'll tell you to discuss. Yeah, good night, Ibrahim Muhammad Sani. Good night. Yeah, if you don't have anything, I think you can go. Those of 2.0. Yeah, we can continue. I'll drop the link of the video immediately. I'll drop the link of the video. So I think I will stop the recording. Abakar Ibrahim, good night. I think I will stop the recording for now so that it will not interfere with whatever we are doing today. So let me stop the recording. Mm, mm, mm. Abdul Malik, Abdul Samad, Comfort, Lukman. I think